Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 13th of October 1973. Now, the theme of this video is going to be winter maintenance, because I thought maybe it's time I gave you a little bit of a taster of what I do when those interludes, when I play on for 5 or 6 months. And most of it is routine work, but I've got a couple of other things that I'd like to talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is Community Report 99. This was released on the 10th of February 2025. And while the main focus of that report is on the early start DLC, there's a very interesting quality of life improvement that has been added, and it should come out in fairly soon as part of a general update. Now, this quality of life update is based on a suggestion made by Borjo about the problems you have when you're playing realistic mode with producing vehicles. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of try and explain the problem first and then talk a little bit about the solution. Now, I've got to use this building here, which isn't ideal because it's the only vehicle production site I've got. Now, the current situation is that what I'm doing at the moment is producing snowplows, and what you see up here is a checkbox which says stop production after queue ends. And what that means is you queue up everything here, and if this is checked, well, then it will only produce those vehicles. But when it's unchecked, what happens is at the moment is that the game will infinitely continue to produce the last vehicle in the list, which at the moment is this IFA W50 covered hole. And this is the reason why I've got this set up. So it's going to produce 6 waste trucks, because I know I need more waste trucks, and then start churning out these covered holes. Now, while this is kind of works, the problem is that means that you, in order to get fully self-sufficient with vehicle production, you've got to spend a lot of time managing these queues. And then in order to know what you want to build, what you've got to do is come into here and you look at these here, and you've got vehicles like this, which I can't buy anymore, but I've still got 4 in storage. And if I go to covered holes, just to show you at the moment, if I show you the IFA, at the moment I've got none in storage. So at the moment, if a covered hole is replaced by this, it's purchased externally, which shows up in this list here. And you can see that the vehicles are actually being replaced here, and it does get quite expensive. But you can see where there is no money, that's where the automatic replacement takes place. And what Bill Joe was asking, which I personally, when I watched him talking about it in his video, I thought was a bit ambitious, was that a construction office would have the intelligence that when a vehicle to be replaced is not available, the construction office would then build it. The problem with that is that, say you've got 4 or 5 vehicle construction offices, which is what you will need to be able to supply multiple vehicles. What will happen is how does which construction office work out which vehicle to replace? And so I can quite understand why the devs said, oh well, we can't really do that, especially in the short time. But what they are planning to do is, where it says here, when you've got this checkbox unchecked, what it will do is repeat the queue. So I'm assuming at the moment, so my queue at the moment is build 6 waste trucks and then 1 covered hole. So what would happen is once the current snowplow, which was the previous entry in the queue, is finished, it will build the 6 with the new update. What will happen is that the game will build 6 waste trucks, 1 covered hole. Now what that means is that you can purposely set up, say, a construction office to create specialist vehicles, and then one that might churn out probably the biggest amount of vehicles that you use in the game, which is covered holes and open stalls. And this is particularly relevant with respect to things like ambulances. If I show you ambulances in here, well, it's ambulances and police stations. What you see here is I've got ambulances which are 30 years old. In fact, I've got one here that's 38 years old. And if I show you that its actual wear and tear, if I can find the wear and tear on there, where's the age of the vehicle, is still only 56%. The reason for that is say, ambulances and fire trucks and police vehicles they don't do that much mileage. So it takes them a lot longer to reach this replacement criteria of wear and tear of 69% and vehicle age of 16 years. So you can see, so this Gaz A is nearly twice as old as the age requirement, but it's still not reaching the wear and tear requirement because it's still only on 46%. That means that what you could do is set up a vehicle production site to say produce a new vehicle. So hopefully that explanation makes sense, guys, but of course once the update drops we will be taking a look into it. It also means now that I can put off something which I've been delaying, ready for that fix, is actually building a proper vehicle production area, and that's now moved that way up the agenda. Now the next thing I want to do is just give you a bit of a general update of where we are. Now I want to keep an eye on my happiness. This is something I do through the winter, is that if this happiness starts to drop even by 1%, I start looking for a potential problem, because what actually happens is that a 1% drop, an average over an economy of 60,000 people, means that it's not the whole economy dropping by 1%. It means that somewhere, some town has run into a problem which is dragging down the average percentage. It also applies to the health as well. So when you're kind of doing a maintenance check, and especially going into winter, you do need to keep an eye on these numbers. And as I say, a 1% drop is an indication that maybe something is going a little bit wrong. Now, one change I've made since the end of the last part is up here, because I'm thinking maybe that I want to build a town here, because we've got oil up here in this area, in this flattened area here. So what I'm thinking is that I need to start building a small town out here to be able to ensure the maintenance of this area here. Well, if we put oil pumps in here, we've got to have someone who's going to look after them and maintain them. And this is the reason why I've kind of pushed out this highway here, because I think, to be honest, if I build a town out here, it's not going to be very big. In fact, it's probably going to follow the path of like I was originally doing over here, building a small self-sufficient town. So maybe we'll have a second crack at it over here. But of course, the first thing we're going to need to do is build out the highway. What I've done here is put a kind of T-shaped interchange here, so that the vehicles coming in here can go that way. And the reason I've extended the highway, and the reason I've extended the highway out here is that up over here we've got iron ore. I think there's also got oil there, we got iron there, and a tiny amount of coal. So if I got a problem with iron ore, we may actually extend the road out here to actually bring some of the iron mines online, but that's really long-term development. Now over here we're still plugging away with respect to here. Of course, we got somebody breaking down here. Yeah, we got a truck here. He's got 56%. Now, what I have got up here is a fire station. What I want to do is get a fire crew out here. We need 52 people out here, because as we're building this area up, we need to have some form of fire protection here. Now, so what I'm going to need to do is we're going to go and buy 4 buses. And something else I'm doing over here is, I should be doing over here, is building, oh yeah, we're going to be building this here, which is a proper depot. I've been kind of putting this off for a little while, so I want to get that built. Oh, I've only got space for 2 buses. Okay, how about the other depot down here? Yeah, we've got room for 4 buses here. I think we'll get, these are the best buses we got, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just gonna let the game run and do that there. And what we're going to do is set a route up. Again, this is something you do need to consider as you push out. It's going to take vehicles longer and longer to actually get out to where they've got to go to. And this is where you've got to start thinking about a centralized vehicle distribution area as well. There's so many things to think about when you're considering our various options. Now, I have a problem here, which I'll come back to, but before we get into the snow, because snow's rapidly approaching, I want to start looking at doing some vehicle kind of maintenance. We've got this road is now finished, so I'm just gonna take out you. I think get a mud road. If I could get a mud road out here, possibly get you to go through there and connect to there, because one thing I would like to do is actually get this road finished, because I want to do some work. Well, it's partly tied to over here, but I'll explain it later on. The other thing also is I'm trying to... Is this road finished? Yeah, this road is now kind of finished. This, I don't think I really need that as a... So we're just going to... Why are you coming to speed up a bit? Get this truck off of this route. And then hopefully get a connection through here. It could be... Nah, it's not going to work, is it? Okay, this one's going to be a little bit more tricky. Okay, we've got to put a little bit of a banana route there. I'll put you in there. It's got to be finished fairly soon, so that's been picked up. Because the amount of traffic coming through here is slowly increasing, so I want to be able to get the faster vehicles through there. Also, this crosslink will need to be done. In fact, I think if I can put a road across. And this is something I've been doing quite a lot of during the winters, because obviously it's a tedious process, but it does need to be done. So just get that there. And I've also been doing the equivalent over here. So we've got that one there. We need to make this connection through, but we could probably do... Oops. Again, the problem's going to be is where I can get... That's not going to work, is it? So this one's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. I think we can do that. Replace that. And this should get picked up by... that's already been picked up. I think what I will do is bump the priority on this one. Because it's not, and then eventually we'll push through to there as well. In fact, I think because winter's coming in, we'll do something like that. And shut priority on that one as well. Then we'll just have to try and find a way to bridge into that gap there. I think generally the rest of the roads, well, we got road connection here, which take that out, take that out. Okay, we're gonna have to come off here into there, and we'll just do that bit there. That should be picked up by this road crew. Yep, this one's not quite so important. It can get built slowly over the winter months. Right, if I go over here, just to show you another change I've made. I think I was working on this in the last part. I think we need to push the priority up on that one. And I think we'll get... No, these guys are already working on it. What I am going to need is a second construction office out here, because at the moment I don't think I've got the coverage for this building. What's the wear and tear on this building? Can't see it. 20%. So we will need another construction office out here. We'll probably put it there. What I'm trying to do is get this built, and then what we will do... Yeah, so these guys are going to crack along a bit now. So we got an asphalt truck and a road crew working all together here. Because in order to be able to build this track, I need this building finished so that I can run through it to lay the track. Okay, so what we're going to do now is come into here, because in the last part I was working on this area. This is going to be our new food factory. And I'm also thinking possibly a fertilizer plant out here, but we're not quite there yet. These guys need asphalt as well. But my original plan was to actually use buses, but I've had a rethink, because I'm still trying to work towards the achievement of conveyors. So I'm going to see if I can fit in a conveyor. I wonder if that will fit. If I aim that, I need it back as far as I can get it. Yeah, it's about as far as I can get it. Let's just see. Okay, we've got a connection there to there. We can change that road if it works. Okay. That will come off there. Now, we will need the other conveyor. Will have to be, or cable station, sorry. Save game to go through. We're kind of looking down in that direction. So if I put you in as close like that, and then what we'll do is get rid of you. Don't want you on that. Do these with mud roads. How far can I get this one? Right, so that will go as far as there. Okay, we got angle of connection is too sharp. How much can I angle that? Trouble is, in the dark, it's a bit difficult to tell whether that is actually connected. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, that looks like it might be high enough. We need to turn that round that way. I think that will work. Right, we'll just put that in there. Remove that road there. Put you there. Remove this. That's built there. And these guys are already building the tower. So right, we will need a connection. I think we can go out that way. There should be a footpath connection. Oh, great. That's the wrong one. Right, just accept. Road. Accept view. Right, what I need to do is make sure that covers that area there. Is there a asphalt footpath? I think if we bring you around the back like that, Will that improve the connection? Yeah, because what I want to do is draw the workforce from this area, because I've got the buildings in here, but of course at the moment we've got the thing. So what we'll do is we will draw the workforce over to here, and then that will mean that we won't have to use buses. Of course, that reduces the number of vehicles that we've got to maintain and replace. So that is looking good. Now, the next area I think I need to work on is a bit of a problem that's growing here with respect to this rail distribution office here. I've got a bit of a growing problem in the sense that one of these trains is it's not maintaining. I've just had to scrap one because one, see, this is at 52%, and I had to scrap it simply because it was not actually, let's just slow the game down again, apologies for this. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be maintained, and I've got a feeling that the office over here is either overloaded. You can see here is full of vehicles that need to be repaired. So I think what's happening is because this one's kind of dealing with all the vehicles in this area, it's never getting round to repairing the trains. So what I'm going to have to try and do is put in a repair office here. And I've also got an idea that if I kind of draw the distance here, that if I can put a road connection in this, if I come out here, you can see that this is well within two kilometers. So if I put a large repair station in here, what that should do is help me with respect to maintaining the vehicles operating in this area. So the question is can we fit one in? Now I'll be completely upfront. I've haven't tried this. Oh great. Okay, that's green. I want it in as close. I get that any closer. That's touching that. It's got to go in here. I have to do the Biljo approach. I think that's about as close as I can get it, because we're gonna have to take the road out this way. I'd already tested for the road, that's why I knew the... No, I have to move it back a smidge. I know I can get the road through there. It's obviously okay, sometimes the game can have a problem when you demolish an old building. It thinks that the building is still there. I think that's about the best we're going to be able to do, and what that will do. And of course there's also the potential that we could put, if we need anything, we can put other buildings on this side. Now there is an issue, will be a potential issue with storage. Now one of the reasons why I'm going for a large building is that large repair stations have a lot higher capacity for storage, well, compared to other buildings, but I still would like, if possible, to get a small warehouse in here. Actually, I've just had a thought, actually. Maybe we don't have a warehouse. Let me just see. If that's a plastics factory, isn't it? Infrastructure in the way. Oh, come on, game. Okay, we're just going to have another go at see if we can squeeze that in a little bit further. Okay, welcome back. I've been trying to get this in here for some time. I can't quite get the connection, and that's about the furthest I can get. So I think I'm stuck with that. So there is one possible option which I could consider, and that is, will that work? This can't build due to infrastructure. We could try and get in, but it's saying, because this is actually expanding out this way. Let me just see if there's another option, but it's not ideal because we got let me just see. Let me see, that will build in there, but that won't connect to that. That kind of part messes up my plans, but what we can do is do something like this, is put another warehouse over the back here. Because one thing I do want to do is make sure this is very well supplied. So say for example we can put you there, and then we've got a road connection here, come like that into there, and then what we could do is put a distribution office to make sure that this is fully supplied. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is get a workforce into here, and again this is where it's going to get a little bit icky. Where's the right, we've got a footpath connection there, so hopefully we've got the underpass there. If I can put you under there like that, take you to say about there, go underground, that'll give that connection, and then we go asphalt to there, and say asphalt to there. Will you, yeah, you can get a workforce into there. Now of course I've got maximum capacity on this line now. I'll show you that. And see here we've got maximum number of cars, and we've still got people queuing up here, but we do have, so what I'm going to need is a bus platform, which I've got to try and fit in here. More importantly, it's got to actually go that way. Let's take a quick look at there. That was just repairs. Okay, that's good. What we're going to need to do is somehow get a bus drop-off point in here. About there. Oh, we can get it there, and that will, if I put it there, that will actually get to there. Yeah, I actually like that. And what we will do is get that and that built. So you just make sure yeah. Right, where's the cable station? You only unload workers. I'm not actually sure you're need to make sure that, otherwise what will happen is the people will travel out by bus and then kind of unload here and go back the other way, but that's okay. So what we need is these guys, get you working on, where is it, here and here, and we've also got the over here. Have you picked up these roads? No. Okay, we'll give you a nudge as well for those, and we'll get that built in, and of course we will get this built in. This isn't super high priority, but I would like to get it done as reasonably as quickly as possible, because as I say, if the trains in this area start running into problems, we will have a wider problem as well. Now the next thing I want to do is we're just going to let the game run, because the other thing which I do in winter is We've got to find crops. So it looks like this farm is, we got crops coming in here, but this farm is pretty good. This one could deal with the extra capacity. Now, if you watch the previous part, is I was putting something in here and it didn't work. It seems to be broken, so I want to come back to that. Of course, this farm here is nearly full, but it's still clearing this area here. Now, of course, the big problem is over here, because you can see here we've got crops left in this field, and you can see now these fields have gone black because we're now on the 5th of December. And you can see now, and this is one of the key visual checks now that you can get, the fact that if you've got black fields, see there's no two black fields over here. These are fields that have got some crops left in them that all were being harvested while there were still some crops left in them. You can see there's a little bit of crops left there. This one is good. This area here, we haven't lost that much. There's 3 tons in there. But of course, the biggest losses are over here, because some of these fields have got quite a fair amount of crops still in them. And of course, out here we've lost here. And of course, these fields were never finished. So it goes to show that we're in reasonable balance, but not ideally. As you can see here at the moment, we've actually got trucks full of crops as well, because well, that's only got a tiny amount, but this one's got 10 tons of crops. So this is a little bit of a hidden feature in the game, in the sense that, not that it makes that much difference in the world of farming, but it means that you can't, trucks that can't unload will sit there with a load on, and then they will unload out when the game actually does it. Now, so what I want to do is get back to over here. I want to try a different vend option here, because this just doesn't seem to want to work. And what I want to do is come into here, and we're gonna go, it's called an orchard. Oops, thank you, game. What I'm thinking is we could put an orchard in here, although this has got a road connection, but we can put an orchard expansion plot. In fact, we could get 2 orchard expansion plots in here. Ideally I would like it to be like that. Well, that's got a road connection. These have got road connections, which is not ideal. Orchard expansion V3. Okay, this one looks like it's got a little bit bigger. This still produces only 1 ton of crops, but it's actually, from the point of view of what I'm trying to do, it might actually fit in a little bit better. Let me just see if I can get this in like that. So we're going to put an orchard in here. It will still push out to that way. We'll remove you, and we will have to put in. Question is whether that will be close enough for a workforce. I got a little bit of a workforce there. Let's see if we can. How many workers we want? 20. That should be okay. But the only trouble is now we will have to put in a road connection. Just go for a gravel road out to there. Again, this is part experiment. It's not, you know, just to see if it will work. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You can get that in there, get you connected up to there. And hopefully if we get the helicopter crew on it as well, and then we can get that built in as another experiment. Right, so we've got that there now. The happiness is holding up, the health is holding up, which is really, really good. I'm quite impressed by that. We don't need the overlay anymore. What I do want to do now is run the micro check on the railway trains. Yes. Okay, well, I'll put you over there because of course these guys are I think, let me just get the other one. We'll just close you, minimize you there. Go and get the one from Stilton first, because the one in Stilton has the bigger workforce. Okay, you've still got, see where you actually are and where you're working, because you've still got 5 jobs. See, they're currently pushing out this way, and we've got no jobs over here. Got, yeah, it seems they're still working out this way. And they're working out that way, which is good. So that means we can, oops, and this guy is currently working out this way. And get you there. We need that built and that built there, but the important connection we need to make is out to here, because that's where we'll be able to bring in the nuclear fuel. Right, by now we should have the buses. Heating problem shouldn't be a problem. Where are we? Where did I bring the buses in? Oh, yeah. Right. See if we can. I think the bus platform here. Yeah, you've got plenty of workers on it. Good. Now this is really just a temporary route to get workers up to here into the fire station, because I just want that extra bit of fire coverage. So we'll just release you. Oops. Then we go 1, 2, 3. Of course, we'll enable line spacing. Do you have fuel? You've got fuel, good. Now, of course, there's a potential waste issue here, which there's nothing I can do about. But it's all about really trying to keep control over here. In fact, what I could do is let's put a garbage silo in about there. Got to put one in anyway, so we put you there, remove you. Eventually you will come there, just make sure, yeah, you can, so you can also collect the waste from there. Great, get you on there, make that high priority. What that will mean is that it will take a lot longer for the waste to fill up into here than the small localized one. Now, if I show you the footpath here, you can see the footpaths are being built in here. But what we have got is these areas here, but at the same time, these are not particularly important. This is how I managed to get a footpath all the way out to there. If I actually show you here, you can see the footpath goes out to 465. But and And it may seem a bit odd that that's actually going out to 465 meters, when technically the maximum range of somebody walking is 400 meters. But what you actually see is the 65 comes from the fact I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gazebos in here. What that does is it adds an extra 50 meters to the walking distance, which gets to 465. There's no way that in theory that someone should be able to walk out to this mine, but that's a way that you can actually extend the distance with respect to walking by putting these gazebos in. It's just, but the downside is they are a real pain in the neck to actually work with. I just saw that connection there. I think we will. Let me just see. We've got to work on the water. This infrastructure. We got this has been built, and this is electric substation. We need to build this infrastructure in as well. Now, what I'm kind of doing here is a little bit of a fiddle, because until that fire station is manned, I don't want to build the actual twin nuclear power station and also these towers. So what I've been doing is that once they get to a certain point, I've been suspending them like this. I mean, we're probably could go a little bit further with that one. And the reason I'm suspending them is I don't want these built until such time as the fire coverage actually protects what we've got here, because we got these that are already finished, so we've got power up here. What I will do is get these built now, because pipelines don't burn down. The other thing is if we go underground, because we're going to need the sewage and water distribution working as well. So what we're going to do is 1, 3. Wow, these save games are going through really quickly. We're going to have to start building this infrastructure, and of course we will need eventually. So what I'm going to do is get them building the pipe work. Because the pipe work has to be built anyway, so I'll get you there. Actually, let's queue all this up. We'll get all that built. So pipe work is and pylons, the actual pylons themselves are a relatively safe kind of bet when it comes to actually protect, when you're building something. Now, the other thing we should have now is this building here. What I'm going to do is we should have some over. No, we've got no over 21s. What's going on? That was what we're having here is a death wave. Now, death waves is something that can be a bit of a problem when your economy gets to a certain size, especially if you've had a period where you've grown very quickly. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to step up the birth rate. It is increase the birth rate, because we do need to have, and of course it's the if you use that, overuse that, increase the birth rate problem, that gives you the death wave. So again, it's something that you do need to think about as and when you're actually building up your economy here. Okay, that needs to be built. That's good. Well, we can keep pulling things together. I think this guy's probably done here. Actually, another thing that you do need to do in winter is just have a look round your economy and see how well your snow clearance is going, because bad snow clearance can dramatically reduce your bit here. Actually, wow, I never knew that. Snow plows can actually plow on roads where they don't actually not allowed to go to. Interesting. Probably the main area. Oh, we've got a building on fire. Let's have a quick look at that. Excuse my paranoia. No, it's no problem. If we go over to back over to turn off the coal, go back over to here. This is where I'm most interested in snow clearance. Yeah, we got reasonable snow clearance through here on this key, because this is a key artery. Oh wow. Oh, this is my burning pit. Okay, we've now got crews working on this. This means this is finished, so I think it's time to get the second. Let's have a check. I'm absolutely sure I built entire map, not entire map, 2,000 meters construction office. Yeah, we got 2 construction offices here. Although I think, where's that one? You're there. You're the nearest. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, we do have 2 construction offices. Sorry about that. Okay, so we do have 2 construction offices working in this area. What are you actually working on? Yeah, you're working on that. You're working on the roads. And of course you're now starting to work on that. So I think we may need to get some rail construction down here. Probably once the summer comes, or at least when the snow goes away. 81%, 80%. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Okay, I'm aware that I'm running out of time on this video. One thing I do want to check, which is with respect to snow clearance, is we obviously got no snow clearance out here yet. Do we have any snow clearance out this way? Not yet. So that means that where is our... Right, let's have a quick look at here. We've got technical offices there. You're the snow plows. We need to push you out. How far out will you go? Right, you can get up that far and clear this area. Train waiting too long. Oh, this is not good. Oh, it's only down to the fuel offloading at the moment. This is a bit of a bottleneck. But eventually what's going to happen is that that's going to, the amount of fuel we're exporting. And I suppose that is probably a good segue into one last thing. What we're going to do in this part is we'll just take a quick look at the economy. At the moment, we'll go back to the last month, because looking at the previous month is, so at the moment we are exporting 22 million we've got exports of 22 million rubles, and we've got imports of 4 million rubles here. But if we actually look at the overall cost, but you can see down here we also spent 251,000 rubles on replacement vehicles. So at the moment we're making 18 million rubles profit, but you see here our main export is nuclear fuel and clothes and bitumen. Fuel is dropping off for obvious reasons, that's going there. We're making 448,000 from explosives. For some reason we're exporting steel and aluminium. Not sure, but you can see we are making money. We're also exporting 73 tons of food. That could waste off there, but we also exported 202 tons of mixed waste. That means that we're spending money, and 2, we're losing an opportunity there. I'm just going to pause because it says train waiting too long, where we could be recycling that. So what we're going to need to do is think a little bit about more of a proper recycling area to deal with the increasing amount of waste that's being produced. Now if we look at our imports, now imports is, you can see by far our biggest import is electronics. Now this is going to steadily increase over years because we're on 1974 now. So what I'm going to need to do is really seriously start looking at being able to deal with it. You can also see that meat is becoming an issue, and also we're importing food, but of course that food import is coming from up here. And this is where running a secondary colony that isn't self-sustaining can become a bit of a problem. So this is something else we're going to need to address over time. And right, so just to finish off, yeah, we've got our usual collision. Why are you telling me that train is waiting too long? Are they waiting in the tunnel? I think you're just waiting on a signal, aren't you? Let's just have a look. Yeah. What we can do, is we can two-way there. I think I've just messed him up a bit, but why are you stuck there? Probably because this signal won't. Well, this signal says you should be able to go. Yeah, it looks like I might have a repeat of the problem I had before. I think what we'll do is we'll send him back to base. Yeah, this could be a problem. If any of you watched way back early in the series, I had a problem with connections with a transformer, which actually gave me a bit of a problem. We got a new vehicle type as well. T813. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look at that. Otherwise, it could be a problem. Let me just have a quick look at this snowplow. Yep, I think that's 480. It's got top speed. It's got ploughing speed of 50. So what we're going to do, again, I know I'm way over time on the video, but I think that is, and again, this is something that you do need to get into, is that you need, when you get a new vehicle that's especially like a snow plow, an ambulance, or a police car, you need to do this and actually upgrade it. Actually, what I will do is leave you on, because if I come in here, yep, nearly made a bit of that. What's it? What's the second best one? Yeah, it's this one here, the Kaz. There, and we've got 6 of those in storage. So what I probably do need to do is kind of replace those like that, because of course I've got some in storage already down here, so we need to use those up. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.